Now, an Eyewitness News exclusive, a candid conversation with Bishop Thomas Tobin.
It's the latest scandal to rock the Catholic Church. Decades of abuse in the Pennsylvania Diocese. A grand jury uncovering the abuse of children allegedly at the hands of priests.
Bishop Tobin was a priest in Pennsylvania for almost 20 years, including 4 as auxiliary bishop of Pittsburgh. He was never named in the grand jury documents or ever interviewed, but he's facing a firestorm of controversy for what he may or may not have known. Tonight, his reaction to the scandal. You think the church leadership has kind of lost their moral compass, judging what's right or wrong?
Not in general, no. I think there are many fine leaders in the church. Obviously, many of our bishops have made mistakes and handled this abuse crisis very poorly.
A sweeping grand jury report released this month indicated more than 300 Catholic priests sexually abused 1,000 children over a 70-year period. The investigation covered 6 Pennsylvania dioceses, including Pittsburgh, where Tobin served as auxiliary bishop from 1992 to 1996.
My office was not directly involved in or responsible for dealing with clergy issues, whether it's assignment of priest or clergy misconduct. That was not part of the responsibilities that the bishop asked me to undertake.
You said, and I'm paraphrasing, it was the report was outside the scope of my responsibility, and I think that's where the firestorm is.
Right. Well, again, the reports were given to the diocese, and the diocese was dealing with them. Again, through the bishop's office, the legal office, communications, clergy office, they were being dealt with, but they weren't being dealt with by me personally, because I wasn't directed, I wasn't authorized to do that. It does not mean I wasn't aware of them or sensitive to them after the fact. So no, I was not aware of any of these priests doing these misdeeds until someone reported it to the diocese.
You said this, it is my experience the Diocese of Pittsburgh has been very responsible and transparent in responding to allegations of sexual abuse and has been one of the leading dioceses in the country in that regard. But over 70 years, we're talking about 1,000 kids that the grand jury cited. What kind of time frame are you referring to here? Because if you listen to that statement,
sure,
and 1,000 kids have been abused, how can they be the leading diocese?
Sure. I have no doubt that over the 70-year history of reporting in the Diocese of Pittsburgh, that there were terrible mistakes made, that things were not handled properly, that priests were moved around. But again, we're dealing with things from the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s. So the church today in Pittsburgh, the church here in Providence and across the country is very different now than it was throughout its history.
Now, Bishop Tobin says 90% of the allegations are more than 25 years old. Coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 11, our conversation with the bishop continues. He talks about what he calls an outbreak of civil war within the Catholic Church.